Lawrence, please use your raise hand button on your participants menu on the lower left. Our first question for Lawrence White will be from Michael Swain of Cyclone Alert. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Lawrence. I'm just wondering, when you turn on the film for the Oklahoma State offense, what are some of the things that just immediately stand out to you?
They have a lot of talent, a lot of really good guys that can make big plays at any time. Really good quarterback, really good, talented receiver. Obviously talented running back. So they have guys all across the board. Great old line, and they're just a well-rounded football team. So it's going to be exciting on Saturday.
And is there anything that's jumped out this time that maybe you haven't noticed in past years when you looked at the Oklahoma State film?
I think, they're really the same team. They have their scheme, and, they're going to try to do what they want to do. But still the same talented guys, same all around, so we're going to be in for a challenge.
The next question will be from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
All right, so Oklahoma State's going to run the heck out of the ball. What is your role, your position's role in helping the dudes up front stop that rush?
Oh, man, my role is just do my job. If that's covering the guy, make sure I do that. If that's coming up and making a tackle, I got to make sure I got to do that. So those are my jobs, and just be there for my teammate, make sure I'm in the right position, make sure I'm communicating across the field, and we'll let everything take care of itself after that.
I got one more question, and this has absolutely nothing to do with the game. I got an email from a family, I don't know, the other day, talking about you, and then towards the bottom it said you're the recipient of the endowed scholarship of their father, a former Iowa State player, Larry Schreiber. Do you know the Schreiber family at all, or do you know anything about that?
I don't know the Schreiber family at all, but I did get a couple of messages about the award, which I really didn't know anything about, or really know that I received the award. But I'm thankful for it. I actually talked to the family and thanked them for them, and that's pretty much it. But I didn't really have too much knowledge of it or the family, but I am appreciative of the award and the scholarship.
Okay, I appreciate it. I know I caught your cold on that one, Lawrence.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
No problem.
Our next question will be from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Lawrence, looking back last year, tackling was the biggest issue against Oklahoma State. How important is it making sure that detail in and of itself is not overlooked or mishandled this week against Oklahoma State?
It's extremely important this week, as it is every week. They have guys that if you miss a tackle, they could break away for, big ones. So, that's something we work on every day at practice, and that's a big part of our defense is tackling well. So, we'll just have to do that and, let everything take care of itself, as I said earlier.
Our next question will be from Mark Freund of WHO. Mark, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, Lawrence, just to pick off the last couple questions, what is it about Hubbard that stands out? What separates him as one of the better backs in the country in your eyes, having played against him? And again, we know that Oklahoma State's going to try and run the ball pretty heavily. What stands out about Hubbard?
Oh man, he's a talented back. As we have a lot in this conference, but his speed, to me and my personal opinion, he's extremely fast. Has great vision. Hits the hole and turns it on. So, that's something we got to be aware of this week. And yeah, that's really one of the big things that jumps out to me.
Cool, thanks.
Our next question comes from Stephen McDaniel of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Stephen.
How's it going, Lawrence? I'm just kind of curious what the mood's been like these past couple of weeks. Obviously, 3 straight wins. You had a big win over Oklahoma, and then even 2 weeks ago had a very dominating win over Texas Tech. So what's just been the mood kind of been like these last couple of weeks?
The mood's been the same ever since the season started. Ever since the first game of the season. It's not good enough. That week is over and we got to get better. We're just constantly finding ways to better ourselves and better this team. If that's defensively, Can't really speak too much for offense, but I know they're doing the same. And just trying to find ways to just put us in the best position to be the best team we could be, and precision, just working on being precise in the game, and not really beating ourselves and minimizing the mistakes that we make in the game, and, just trying to be the best team we could be, best people we could be. So it's still the same mindset from the beginning of the season, and it's going to stay that way to the end.
Thank you.
Our next question will be from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Lawrence, what do you remember about 2018 and watching Brock come in as a true freshman and do what he did that day?
Man, it was a special day. I never forget it down there in Stillwater. His first game coming back and just making plays all over the field and being confident. One play that really stands out to me is when he scored and kind of did a little high step to the end zone. That's always my favorite memory of it. And, just seeing him have fun and the confidence and just acting like he's been there before, and not letting the pressure get to him for him being a freshman. So, extremely proud of him for that and, excited to see what he does on Saturday as well.
And from your perspective, how have you seen him grown since that moment?
Oh, man, just all over the board, just making plays, extending plays, just maturing into the best quarterback he could be, and he still has a lot more room to grow to, and he's only getting better in my eyes, so, excited for him.
Those are all the questions we have for you this week, Lawrence. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, our next student athlete, it will be offensive lineman Colin Newell, and he's coming to the podium right now.
Hello?
We're getting set here for you, Colin. Once again, if you have a question for Colin, please use your raise hand indicator on your participants menu. And our first question will come from Randy Peterson in the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Colin, you spent a lot of time with Trevor and his family. I think they taught you how to farm, or at least try to farm, and you got the plow truck or the tractor stuck in the mud or all that good stuff. But I'm assuming he's maybe your best friend on the team. What goes through your mind now that he can't play? What's your mindset? I mean, what's going on with him? How do you try to be there for him now?
Well, first of all, your first part of this statement, I was not the only one that got a tractor stuck. I had to pull him out twice too, to my one time, just to make it clear. But
okay.
Yeah,
My
it's
bad.
no, you're good. It's tough to see, we live together. He's my best friend, and we spend a lot of time together. So seeing him go down and what he means to our offensive line room, it's tough. But he continues to stay positive, and he's showing up every day to film and all that stuff, and working his butt off. So he's still bringing his presence, and that's for sure.
All right. Thanks, Colin. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Our next question will be from Mark Freund of WHO. Mark, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, Colin, just to bounce off that a little bit, you've obviously had a couple weeks without Trevor to, as an offensive line to kind of figure things out, play some games without him. Where do you guys feel you're at, at this point?
Yeah, we've had some young guys step in and do a really good job, between Daryl and now Jake Remsburg. They've done a great job of stepping in and filling a spot for us, and playing really confident, being really good in the film room and in practice. I feel like every week we continue to get better, and a lot of that is due to those young guys stepping up into those positions.
I think Coach Campbell has praised Remsburg in the past. We know him down here in Des Moines, obviously, from his time at Valley, but what has he done well, or how has he stepped up that you've seen, for a young player that didn't have a lot of time, obviously, coming into the season?
Yeah, every week he continues to prepare really well. He plays really hard. And if there's one thing, he plays really, really hard. And I think that contributes to a lot of the success that he had there. And he continues to just listen to Coach Myers and all of our coaches on how he can improve his game. And he applies that, and it's helped him a lot.
Cool. Thanks, Colin.
Yep.
Our next question will be from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Colin, this offensive line's only given up one sack. You guys have had more than 300 yards rushing the last 2 games. How do you continue to build on that chemistry, even with so many moving pieces and a couple of uncertainties?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird year with COVID and everything, but I think this group, we've done a good job of just creating a bond between each other. And it's tough when you have guys go down, but when everyone's on the same page and has the same goal, we can trust these guys that are coming in and stepping in to make big-time plays and come in and play really, really hard. And I think that's one thing that we've been able to improve on is the culture of that in our offensive line room. And, these guys are coming in and working really hard, so I think that's a huge part of our success there.
And then what do you remember about 2018 in Stillwater when Brock came on?
Yeah, it was a fun one. Obviously, you remember the swagger step into the end zone, and everyone was pretty excited about that. But there were many other plays. I can't remember if it's 3rd or 4th down, and he went and ran someone over to get the 1st down, and just some big plays like that. That's who he started out when he came here, and he continues just to get better and better and keep that same mindset in every way.
That's all the questions we have for you this week, Colin. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, our final student athlete is quarterback Brock Purdy. He's coming to the podium right now.
Again, as a reminder to everyone, as Brock gets set up, please, if you have a question, use your raise hand button in your participants manual to get in line.
Hey,
and
guys.
Our first question hey, Brock, and our first question for Brock Purdy will be from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Hey, sorry, Brock, I've got an ad playing in the background. Flashback 2 years ago, I know we've talked about it a little bit, but what do you remember about that day in Stillwater? Did you wake up knowing that you were going to take the field that day as quarterback?
Yeah, that week coach told me I was going to get in, and so, I really didn't overthink it. I just went with it, prepared like I was a starter throughout the week. And, that morning when I woke up, I just knew that I was going to step on the field at some point during the game. So when my opportunity came, I, just went out and played football and kept it simple. So.
And with that, how have you seen yourself grow personally from that moment to where we are now?
Yeah, I think just a lot of the expectations and stuff after that game and how defenses were scheming up, how I play and stuff. Those are all things that I had to learn to handle. And, from that point on up until this point, I just feel like as a leader on the team, I've been able to grow and help everyone else do their part as well. And just like have other guys feed off my energy and my leadership and things like that. So those are some areas that I've grown from 2018 till now.
Our next question comes from Travis Hines of the Ames Tribune. Go ahead, Travis.
Brock, to piggyback off that a little bit, something you talked with us about this summer is wanting to put less pressure on yourself in these games. I'm wondering just how that you feel like you're being able to do that this year.
Yeah, I think, in the first game and everything like that, sort of felt it a little bit just when things weren't going our way. Like I felt like I had to do it on my own. But, I'm at the point where, I know everyone on the field that is playing with me has the capability of doing their part. And then if I just trust in that, then we'll be good to go. And then trusting the coaches' play calling and trusting the defense and special teams to do their part, just trusting the team. And so I feel like each game I've gotten better with it. And, I think other guys on the team have gotten better with it as well. It's not just me that's going through this kind of stuff. And, I think just as a whole, we've all grown. And, I'm really excited to see what happens, down the stretch of the season and everything as we continue to just keep building off of the games in the past and all of our experiences.
Is there, I guess, do you have to be on extra guard for something like that? Not just you, but like you mentioned, everybody in a game like this where I know you guys are taking it 1 week at a time, but everybody knows it's a top 10 opponent with, first place on the line. Is that an extra, you got to have an extra layer of defense against something like that in a game like this?
To be honest, I guess. But for us, like what we're doing, we're just keeping it simple. We're taking it 1 week at a time. And we know that every single game in the Big 12 matters. Any team can take down anybody at any moment. So that's how we're taking it. Our mentality is, level, and, we're not getting too high. We're not getting too low or anything. We've been in situations like this before the past couple of years. And, I think we're ready to be able to take the next step, but we're going to find out Saturday.
Thanks, Brock.
Yep.
Our next question will be from Mark Freund of WHO. Mark, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, Brock, just to bounce back to 2018, both Colin and Lawrence referenced the play where, you were high-stepping it after a score. You mentioned you knew that week that you were going to be playing. Were you nervous? Do you remember being nervous, anything like that being your first start or game action?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I was not nervous. I was more excited than anything. I think the games leading up to that point, I was preparing just in case anything happened to the starter. And then so for that game, when Coach told me, hey, you're going to play this game, I was really excited. I was like, okay, I'm going to show, my teammates and everybody what I'm about and just do my thing and go play football. And so, leading up to that point, I was just really excited. I wasn't nervous or anything like that. When we started scoring touchdowns, you could just feel the energy, you could feel the excitement. And I think really that's just, when I look back on it, it was a good time, but, I just kept it simple and played football, and I was excited, so.
Sure. Let's time jump back to this year. What's the biggest challenge that you face in Oklahoma State's defense? What do they look like?
Yeah, I mean, one, they have a lot of experience. All their guys that are returning, played past couple years. So they're a really experienced defense. They do a lot of things. The defense coordinator coaches them up pretty well. They're disciplined in everything that they do, and they got really good athletes across the board. So, they do a lot of things, and we saw a lot of their stuff last year compared to 2018. It was, I think, two different types of defenses. And obviously we've learned from last year what happened, and then seeing all the games that they played in, this year so far, they've done a good job of just doing a lot of things and being able to do a lot of things in the right way. So they're a good defense.
Thanks, Brock.
Yep.
Our next question will be from Zane Douglas of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Zane.
Hi, Brock. Have you kind of taken a step back and thought about how much your life has changed since that 2018 game, and just kind of not just from going from like a backup to a starter role, but also kind of becoming one of the faces of the program?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot has changed before that game, and then obviously until now. But for me, I just try to keep everything that I do the same as far as who I am as a person, who I am as a teammate, and what I believe in. Nothing has changed, as far as that aspect. But as far as my game and everything, yeah, I understand people try to break down my game and what I do good, what I don't do good, and defensive coordinators attack certain tendencies that I have. And so I understand that, and I think that's something that I'm always just going to have to continue to grow with and be better at. But I just feel like I'm still the same kind of guy from 2018 till now. So.
What do you kind of remember about that game in 2018, and also kind of the day leading up to it or the week leading up to it?
Yeah, I mean, just the same thing. I was just really excited to get my opportunity, for one, leading up to the game, and then during the game, again, just the excitement and the thrill that everybody was experiencing as a team. On the sideline, I remember everyone was juiced up. Every time the offense was out there making plays and stuff, and really we had a lot of guys touch the ball, do great things. Offensive line was doing their thing, and we were just able to create momentum and roll. So that's what I remember about that game, but that's over with, and we're focused on this Saturday. So
thanks so much.
Our next question comes from Ben Visser of the Cedar Rapids Gazette. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, Brock, the perception, I guess, of the Big 12 nationally is still that it's a pass-happy, no-defense league. But the reality is the top three teams of the league, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and Kansas State, they all have balanced offenses for the most part, and all three of them play really good defense. So I guess what's your take on the perception versus the reality of where the Big 12 is right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Big 12 overall, like, there's so much going on as far as offenses and defenses. So to sit here and say that there's no defense, it's all just a passing league or whatever, to me, I'd sort of just block that kind of stuff out. It doesn't mean much to me because I think the defensive play is actually really hard in this league. And I give a lot of respect to, the D coordinators across the league. And they do a great job every week scheming up all the offenses. So I think it goes both ways. But, if you look at other conferences as well, there's a lot of high-scoring games. And so a lot of people don't, bash those conferences or anything like that. So for us, we just focus on what we had to focus on each week. And, we don't listen to the noise of the Big 12 is this or that. So it doesn't really mean much to us.
Thank you.
Yep.
Our next question will be from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Brock, I was talking to your father this morning, and he said that when the family was up to Ames 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, that you guys were sitting together watching a movie on TV, and then your mom or your dad looked over at you, and you're sitting on your bed, and you've got your laptop going, you're watching game films. How much time do you spend away from the facility just watching game films on your laptop?
Yeah, I get that question.
And what do you get out of that too?
Yeah, to know the exact amount of time I watch film, I guess, I really don't know. I know that right now, being a quarterback in college and everything, this is like my job. So when I leave the facility, I still got to do my part and watch and be prepared for practice and everything like that, and obviously for the game. But I just take it serious, and I try to do everything that I can to prepare the right way. So if that means even if my family's in town, I still gotta be able to watch film and be ready to go for the next day at practice. So, I don't know. I think I just take it seriously. And to answer your question, I don't really know how much film I watch throughout the week. It's a lot, though. That's all I can
got
tell
you. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Thanks, Brock. Good luck to you.
Yep. Thanks.
Our next question will be from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Brock, how much do you talk to your little brother about, the game and being a quarterback? I know he's he's a freshman now at Florida State. How much do you talk to him and just talk football and talk about non-football stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're always reaching out to each other, FaceTiming and checking in on one another. And to be honest, we talk about everything as far as life, as far as football. But he does a great job of asking me questions. Hey, what was going through your mind in this? Like, how do you feel after you do a good job, or how do you feel after you could have done better? So for him, he takes in as much knowledge as he can from me, and I really respect that out of him because I know he wants to learn and grow and be the best version of himself, and I think he is doing that. And so also being able to just talk to him about life, talk about how to handle everything as a human being, what we stand for as brothers. So I love him so much, and he's doing a great job of asking me questions and learning from me, and I learn from him as well. So.
All we got for you this week, Brock. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.